Oh, making a video. Yeah, probably shouldn't. But anyway, a couple of subjects, and they're just, it's not finished, and it's not very important. But, it's just in my head, so I kind of need to make a video. Anti-bullshit man on the anti-BS man channel. So one's for BSing and one's for bullshitting, or something like that. Anyway, he's made a couple of new videos, which is nice, but there's something about anti-bullshit man's style that has, in my opinion, changed, and he's just become such a snarky old lady. But anyway, with all this jargon, vocabulary, it's, just these classifications that just, I just call bullshit. Anyway, and then the other subject, I guess, is the Puro stupid room. I listened to some of that, and they were talking for a while about this whole idea that the human race needs to get off planet Earth. That we do. That's kind of how they say it, like we do. Like I have some desperate need, to get off of planet Earth. To send other people to another planet. Somehow I need to do that. Yeah, some typical average humans. I need to go export them into space, and somehow I'll feel so much better if we're not all trapped on Earth. I mean, they had the whole conversation without anybody, Piro finally, said the obvious thing, like, well, we're all going to get killed anyway. If a meteor hits Earth, there's going to be billions of people dead. We can't send people into space. We can only populate new people on some new planet. You're not going to escape is the point. The point is you're going to be way, 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 way back in the line. But anyway, so you're doomed. And somehow you'll feel better in your doom if you send a bunch of idiots and jerks to another planet so then they can try to get off of that planet. While they're living in little cardboard box things or something, right? Because they can't live on the other planet in any kind of normal way. Because the other planet won't have an atmosphere. They'll be covered with radiation all the time. There's nothing to eat but synthetically grown gruel. And who knows what kind of fuckables there are. I'm sorry, I don't understand this whole conversation. It just doesn't... I've never sat around going, oh my God, what if humans get annihilated? No, I sit around going, what if I get annihilated? Sorry, but that's just the way it is. Extinction kind of doesn't, I really, sorry, I just can't get caught up in this whole, what's more important? Me dying or the human race going extinct? And this is me talking, right? So this is me, somebody who actually knows that it doesn't make any difference, this whole desire, we're just all machines and all that kind of crap. But I'm just saying that's how useless the whole concept of I'm somehow invested in the human race's existence is. I mean, it just doesn't make much sense. I mean, even if I was a fanatic Yankees fan or something. I mean, do I really think that, oh shit, I gotta make sure Yankee Stadium lasts forever or something? You know what I'm saying? I mean, once I'm dead, it's like, okay, go ahead and you can tear it down now. Because, yeah, it was important in some stupid, idiotic way to me, but it really doesn't matter, and I know that. I guess I'm just trying to say is that, I guess we're fundamentally invested in our own existence, but we can logically understand that all of those investments are so superficial. It's just a story. It's Red Riding Hood. The argument is, if Red Riding Hood never got written, would that be some horrible tragedy? No, it wouldn't. Anyway, I want to get that subject second, but we'll see. Maybe I'll end up back there somehow. So anyway, so he's anti-bullshit man made this video, hedonistic bitterness heroin church. So there's this little process, right? I mean, I make a video explaining how, talking about somebody who's talking about loving their child and how this is the most magnificent thing in the universe. And we know the word love is thrown around as if it is some sort of beautiful thing. And so I made a video just kind of explaining that no, love is basically one of the most disgusting four-letter words in our vocabulary. Because most of the emotions associated with love, most of them, most of the time, are just an expression of preposterous bigotry. That's it. Cuteness, attractiveness, aesthetics, in the crudest way. Not like you have to earn it, kind of aesthetics. You just have the right mannerisms and the right personality, and you talk when you're supposed to talk, and you don't talk, and you walk just right, and your ass moves. Ooh, 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 ooh. This kind of bullshit is what we follow. Sunlight through the chiffon or whatever they call it, cashmere. No, okay, it's just like when you go through cashmere, right? Whatever that is, the summer dress, and you can see the, that kind of side boob. That's love. Alright, and this whole loving your child thing is just so on its face a grotesque bigotry. There is absolutely, logically, we can know this. There's nothing special about your child. Nothing. It doesn't, genetically, it's not, it's only half you, and it's mixed with half of something else, and all that kind of crap. A whole bunch of ancestors. Go look in your family tree and say, oh shit, there's a bunch of that in that thing I just made. But regardless of just that superficial, okay, at least it's the same color as me, or some kind of other idiotic notion you might have in your head. We know that doesn't turn out that way. But anyway, let's just say, even if it did, even if it was something like, oh, it looks just like you, logically, it's the child's properties that matter. It's what the child is that should be respected, right? So I guess that's the argument in the video. That the word love, which is revered by all, and the word respect. And which word should mean something? It's that word respect that should be like the word love. It should have the status of the word love. Things should be given their due respect for what they are. Sentient feeling, all that kind of stuff. If you did that, then there wouldn't be homeless people and all this other kind of crap in this loving society. But anyway, so that's the point of the video is that love, our emotions, are just this expression of lizard bigotry. They are deserve has little or nothing to do with it. That's the problem. And there's no argument for a solution. The point of the video was this is one of the reasons why life sucks. Is that this organism is built out of this desire mechanism, and the desire mechanism, as a practical matter, not unless you start really wiggling with our psychologies, really fucking with our brains, you're not going to make, ooh, she's got a 148 IQ, and that's not going to make boners. So unless you really fuck with the brain, the stuff that has some sort of value, real value. But again, even that notion of real value doesn't mean anything, because we're all feeling creatures. We all are sensitive. We all have good and bad days. The fundamental function is so equitable in its distribution that there's just no point. There's no point in this find a proper standard by which we will judge you, and then we will decide whether you will be happy or sad. Whether I will invest in your life and care about you. All of that shouldn't be dependent on these superficial push the right buttons on Gary, and Gary will say, I love you. That's the argument in the video. is that this has nothing to do with the real, meaningful substance of what it is to be a sentient, conscious being on Earth, and what you deserve based on having those simple attributes. If you're a pig with those attributes, you don't deserve torture and slaughter. Anyway, so then it gets all perverted through these levels where now it's a conversation about whether or not it's appropriate to pass judgment on people's relationships. And I would only do that, I would only say it is if there's somebody's making an argument that there's something pure and beautiful. And the argument is there's nothing pure and beautiful about you loving your child more than loving other children. That's just plain bigotry. And you know it. You know there's other kids that are smarter than your kid or better looking than your kid, and all the standards you're using to apply to say my kid's special. Some other kid has more of that shit, and you goddamn know it. And you goddamn know it if truly you could just play the game and switch personalities. You probably would. Don't lie. If you could improve your children, by taking some attribute some other child has and just sliding it over, you would do it. So it's just more part of the ego and the competition and the I'm going to build the best one possible kind of thing. You're just falling into the contest. Anyway, so it's gone from that to some idiotic conversation about social justice or something. Or even brings up divorce or something, like he has an opinion on how cruel and unusual divorce law is. Right, you have a perfect right to write a contract that almost says anything before you get married, right? This is your legal right. You have a legal right to write a contract before you get married that spells out everything, like how much of the dog you get and how much of the dog she gets, and every detail you can spell out. You have the freedom to do that. And the whiners like this, oh, she made me do it. She extorted me. No. You just wanted to buy the hooker. You wanted a lifetime contract with the slut, and you don't want to pay for it. Oh, okay. Fuck you. I mean, it's just ironic in a way that he's blaming people for writing good contracts. And what is this usually about? It's usually about the fact that men, they sign a contract that they have no intention of keeping. That they want the freedom. They want to say, look, you stay home, take care of these little bratty things that I want to have created, and I'll go fuck around, have adventures. Okay, I'll go be a Jedi, or I'll be Harrison Ford, and I'll go, whatever, running in front of boulders and whatnot. Yes, and you stay here and clean up diarrhea. Okay? Come on. Anyway, that's beside the point. It's another subject altogether. But his video was full of that kind of crap. So in this video, the thing that's really I found obnoxious was this migrating of the conversation about this fundamental bigotry into a conversation about some circumstances where we're not entirely bigoted in terms of our affiliations with people, which are friendships sometimes. And friendships are often, they're just as sometimes as cynically self-serving, based on usefulness, which is not very nice either. Okay, I mean, judging whether you're going to help somebody out or loan them money or do something else based on some calculation that, oh yeah, well in the future I'll get this or I'll get that advantage. I like having that person owing me something, where I know it's useless to have some homeless guy owe me $50 because he'll never have an extra $50. He'll never have anything useful to give me, except wacky advice about, the second coming of the fourth Jesus, of the seven triad, of the whatever, kingdom of, whatever. So, yeah, there's no real advantage to befriending lunatics or psychopaths or, all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, they're left out. It's another tragic fact of life. The people in most need of someone to talk to are the people who usually are often the most difficult to talk to, ironically. And then they climb towers and start shooting people, just to make the whole thing even worse. But anyway, that's not my point entirely. But my point is that, yeah, this is just a complete perversion of the subject. And the fact that people have affiliations and advantages, like I said, they get in, like I have a little mini cult here, and we could call each other friend. And some of those friendships are based on some sort of sincere empathy with each other's condition, some sort of connection, like, oh yeah, I've been there, buddy. And so shared appreciation. And you might say, well, that has some sort of merit, because at least it's based on this idea that what you're invested in as an idea is what they're invested in as an idea. And there's just this practicality to it, and I suppose it also just feeds another element of ego, where you gain some strength, you gain some courage based on these affiliations. You can boost each other up, kind of thing, if that's a way of putting it. So it has some practical value to some real mission statement. But if your politics is idiotic, like republicanism or something, yeah, well, then that affiliation is just a cult, or stupid, or moronic. It sort of loses its spiritual depth if it doesn't have any. But I guess I would just say that the subjects are not entirely different, but they are sort of different subjects. The bigotries and advantages that go into the construction of what we call friendships is different than the grotesque and obvious. Deserve has little or nothing to do with it. That has to do with what we call love. Love is usually grotesquely bigoted. My mommy. I mean, it's just so obvious a bigotry. I mean, the idea that you grow up with it, you're saturated in it, you become addicted in a sense to it, nicotine or something, and it's like that. It's a powerful influence, even though it did nothing in any real sense to merit your differential respect. So you have a differential respect for your mummy and daddy. Commonly, this is true. Not everyone, of course. And if you think about it, it's not based on anything rational. It's an emotional reaction. And it's just a purely bigoted reaction. So, all that gets lost because this irritating person just refused to acknowledge the context of the conversation, its evolution, and that's sort of important. And I'll concede that Heroin Church made a mess of that context. So maybe all bets are off, and maybe it's okay to take it anywhere you want to. I don't think so. So, what do I want to... So I'll just play a little bit. I mean, I just picked a random spot here. It just happens to be 7 minutes. That's pretty cool. I mean, I just, pushed the thing there. I just hit the 700 exactly. Pretty good.
That same standard would apply to a woman I'm physically attracted to over a woman I'm physically unattracted to.
Right. So he's saying it's the same. The attractiveness is the same as the fact that you might find affiliation with a friend. And I'm just going to argue that, no, I think they're different. I think the calculations are different. And sometimes the calculations of friendships have some sort of merit. Some element of merit. where love often is just a bunch of rationalizations. The person is in fact not even close to what you would define or describe as respectable, and yet you'll just make all kinds of concessions because, damn, she's hot. And it's just the truth. But anyway, okay. I think I've done this and enough of this. Yeah, I mean, it's like if this was a more important subject, I'd say, okay, well, it's sort of important in the sense that I just, you know, it's part of this whole conversation about recognizing things for what they are, and recognizing with this whole idea of the human race launching itself into space and colonizing planets, that's not going to be a beautiful thing. It's going to be the same shit that's here. I mean, why do I want somebody to go up into space, get cancer, and die slowly? Why would I say great idea while he's watching basketball games or something? Why would I do that? Why is that rational? And this idea that love, or even the word life, that these, oh, they're just beautiful words. No, they're 4-letter words for good reason. Because they're horrid, they're disgusting, they're revolting. Life is a disgusting process of cannibalism. Purely. For what purpose? Satisfy addictions. It's a heroin addict. That's the story of life. Life is just a story of addiction in this brutal, disgusting manner where we sell our souls, so to speak, to our desire. Totally compromise our life's purpose. I mean, I can't even tell you. If you could have kept me optimistic, in need, you know, in the game, and taken away that whole desire, you know, the whole sex thing. I mean, my life would be 4 times longer at least, in the sense I would have gotten 4 times more stuff done if I wasn't preoccupied with gratifying and satisfying this need to climb that mountain. Just take that obsession out of my head for all those years, the first, whatever. Well, there's still a distraction. More in control than in the past, but still a horrible distraction in terms of the amount of time my brain spends fantasizing and playing with notions of male gratification. I don't know what my point is there. But anyway, my point is that that's what our life is. It's just a stupid, crude slop. It compromises whatever value there is in our capacity to solve a problem. But the only problem to solve is the problem of people's notional projection of accomplishment. I need to win. Win what? We need to win. We? You know, I need to send Muslims into space so they can colonize the planets? I don't think I do. Anyway. Stupid, bad, really bad idea. So, I mean, just the practicality of that one alone. Let's say you could only send 10 people on this mission to wherever. So, 5 men, 5 women, something like that. Obviously, if you're really horny to populate the universe, you'll just send, 2 men and 8 women or something. Or you'll send 10 women with a bunch of vials of, and soon enough, they're going to have microwaves that can make babies, so it won't matter how many, what sex anybody is. But anyway, it's just so disgusting. But what's going to be the racial profiling that's going to be done? Who gets on, the good ship crazy fart? Shit. Anyway, disaster waiting to happen. Let's see if we can fuck up another planet. Yeah. Fuck. What would you even name this thing? Yeah, yo. Tragedy. Yeah, just write that on the ship. Tragedy. Here it comes. Shit. So anyway. Another video. Till next time and such. I want to make a physics video, so I had to get this crap out of my head so I can try to think clearly. So much. Anyway, till next time.